One of my viewers sent me a link to a blog post from this guy who says he doesn't believe in atheists because none of them can answer his challenge to evolution. His challenge asks those who believe in evolution to meet 5 criteria. You must show a mutation that, number 1, must be a random mutation that has occurred naturally. Number 2, it must have been observed. Number 3, it must have added new information to the genome. Number 4, the mutation must also benefit the host. And number 5, don't resort to citing silly examples of E. coli or other microorganisms. Criteria 1, 2, and 4 are satisfied by the Lenski experiment. The Lenski experiment observed the appearance of a beneficial mutation among E. coli that allowed these bacteria to metabolize a chemical that they could not metabolize before. Criterion 3 is difficult to observe because it's a 2-step process. A known way for new information to be added is for a gene to first duplicate itself, then one copy of the duplicated gene mutates into a different gene, creating a new additional gene with new additional information. Criterion 5 severely handicaps any attempt to show observed mutations because bacteria can multiply much faster than multicellular organisms, so it's possible to observe mutations over thousands of generations in a relatively short period of time. Observing mutations in multicellular organisms would be much more difficult. The blogger doesn't explain this criterion or why he thinks examples using E. coli are silly, so I think he knows about the Lenski experiment and is just dismissing it arbitrarily. He also argues if NASA built a rover that could go to an alien planet and adapt to any environmental condition it encountered, this would be an example of a more elegant design, not less. This would not be the case if it used a throw everything at the wall and see what sticks method of adaptation. This is the method evolution uses, and I think it's probably the least elegant method imaginable. Like many creationists, he tries to define kinds in an arbitrary way. Creationists assert that organisms never evolve from one kind to another kind. He says, "Let me clarify that when I say kinds, I'm making a reference to biblical terminology. The Bible speaks of kinds, which are a grouping similar to what we would describe today as a genus, plural genera. So there is room for a lot of variation within a kind, many species in fact. I don't know of a Bible passage that defines a kind this way. Other creationists, Kent Hovind for example, cite Genesis 1:24 when defining a kind. And God said, 'Let the earth bring forth a living creature after his kind, cattle and creeping thing, and beast of the earth after his kind. And it was so.' This seems to say that any two animals that can mate and bring forth with each other are of the same kind, and those who cannot bring forth with each other are of different kinds. Interestingly enough, this is how science defines a species. And animals have been observed evolving from one species to another, so the assertion that animals cannot evolve from one kind to another is demonstrably false, at least by the biblical definition of kind. Those who say that one species of salamander, for example, which cannot interbreed with another species of salamander, are of the same kind, are not using the biblical definition.